Ha ha ha. What's up? I probably should put my headphones in. That's a good idea. I'll do that. What's up, everybody? My name's MrBigEsworth, or Biggie, but most people just call me E, like Ham and Lunar in chat. How's it going, fellas? Hope you're having a great day. Tell me about your day if you want to, but you don't have to if you don't want to. But if you're watching this later, please like, share, subscribe, tell somebody. Go eat Taco Bell. No, you don't have to eat Taco Bell if you don't want to. Okay, it is Wednesday the 6th? Yeah, because it's Stranger Things Day. If you don't know, in the story, I'm doing pretty good, Lunar. So, okay, so before we get into Stranger Things Day, okay, so today's Wednesday the 6th. I did a weigh-in. I didn't gain nor lose, so I'm still kind of on track, which is dope. So no like weight loss, no huge weight loss. Uh, on Monday's stream, I talked about how important it was to wear. I was just kind of talking, and I was talking about how important it is to wear gloves at work. And then yesterday, we're unloading a container. If you don't know, granite comes from all over the world. When it gets shipped to the US, they put it in containers and big crates and bundles. And we were unloading a container. I pulled out a bundle. I smashed my hand moving a bundle and try and maneuver because we use cranes because obviously it's too fucking heavy because it's stone. But I was rotating a bundle and I wasn't paying attention because I was looking at the opposite end and not where my hand was. And I basically stupidly spun the bundle into another bundle but had my hand, and I smashed basically between like my pinky and like my knuckle of just right here got like just crunched real hard. At first I thought I broke it, right? Because it was like super sharp pain, and I didn't hear. I felt like a pop. So I thought, shit, I just broke my fucking hand or I broke my fucking finger. And I couldn't make a fist, not even kung fu grip fist. So I was like, fuck, I think I broke my hand. And I went to my coworker and I was like, dude, he was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I think I might have broke my hand. And he was like, no fucking way. And I was like, I think so. So he like kind of panics a little bit and he's like, oh fuck, we gotta call 911. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Even if I did break my hand, we don't need to call 911. Like, obviously, if the bone was sticking out and like there was like blood shooting, like, okay, maybe we call 911 then. But just broke hand, like, I'll drive myself to the hospital or somebody can drive me or whatever. I'm like, calm down. He goes like, he doesn't run because he's a big dude like me, but he like quickly walks in the office. He's like, somebody's got to take Cliff to the hospital. My first name is Cliff. You got to take him to the hospital. He broke his hand. And so the office manager lady comes out like, oh, what happened? You know, all concerned. And I was like, I just smashed the shit out of my hand. I don't know if it's broke. I think it might be broke, but I'm not 100% sure. And I went over and put my hand on the table, and like I was able to like bend and make a fist. And you're always told in the movies and TV, and movies and TV never lie to you, if you can bend it, it's not broke. So I just go by that logic. So it doesn't feel broken. Like, it's sore as fuck. Like, and this was yesterday when I did it. But in like, I mean, you can't tell, but this part is like I'm all like fat boy. Well, I'm fat boy in general, but even fatter boy, fatterest boy, whatever that is, right here from the knuckle, like in it. But I don't think it's broke. I think it's just it just hurts. So and then yeah, she called the people at corporate or whatever, and they had to file an incident report. And then I talked to the guy who basically like runs human resources for like the whole company, and he was like, we have protocols in place for when people get hurt, and we just want to make sure that you're 100%. Like, do you want to go right now? Yeah, I mean, it's bruised. It's not really bruised. I don't really bruise easily. Unless Jaxs hits me in the face. No, she doesn't do that. But if she did, no. I don't know. It's not super bruised. It just hurts. Does that make sense? Like, when I go to write or whatever, like, that's when I really fucking feel it. But anyway, so... And I even put this on Twitter. I was like, the irony that I was talking about why it's important to wear gloves at work, at my work, and then the very next day I end up smashing my fucking hands. But I still contend the fact that maybe I didn't break my hand or break my pinky or whatever because I had my fucking gloves on. That's probably not true. That's... A bruised knuckle or bone in the hand can have similar symptoms of a broken hand. Are you trying to say it's broke? Because if you say it's broke, I will believe you, and I will go to the ER right now. I will shut the stream down. No, I'm not doing any of that. I'm kidding. So he started his stream, and then 10 minutes in, he went to the fucking... Oh my. Can you imagine all the, like, chit-chat? The good thing is this shit will be on YouTube, so it'll like automatically get uploaded. Like, he was talking mid-sentence, and then like the stream got shut off, and he went to the ER. Yeah, it just feels bruised. You know what I mean? Like, obviously your pinky's not that strong. Okay, my pinky's maybe your pinky is like incredibly strong. Maybe you're like American Ninja Warrior shit, like hanging off stuff with your... Mine is not that strong. So, for me, like, I don't have the strength in it. What strength a pinky should have. Or what strength my pinky should have. But anyway, so I fucking smashed my hand. It's a big fucking hubba-baloo or whatever. And, the HR guy calls down today and's like, oh, do you want to go to the hospital and shit? And I'm like, no, it's fine. On another weird side random thing, so the office manager lady today, it's like speculation, right, that she's on some kind of medication, right? She comes in kind of loopy or whatever. We were in having a conversation. So it was me, my other coworker that works in my like department or whatever. And we're just having a conversation, and she's obviously like not in her... She's not thinking clearly. And she's been known to drink and take medication. Which, you know, I've never seen a medicine that is like, yeah, you should definitely drink on this. It'll make everything better. But anyway... For whatever, I don't even know what prompted in her brain, but for whatever reason, she just started talking about how she's okay with threesomes and doing threesomes. And we weren't even talking, the word three never even came up. I don't even know how she gets on this subject. And I look at my coworker, and he looks at me, and I'm like, and he just kind of changed the subject, and we got on. But I just was like, okay. I mean, the fuck are you supposed to say? You know what I mean? It was just, I don't know. It was just weird. I guess on like Saturdays, I don't ever work Saturdays. No, not really. Not at all. She comes in Saturdays and like she parties or whatever, or you know, has a good time. And I guess she comes in Saturday. I never work Saturday. This is what I hear secondhand. But she comes in like still drunk from the day before. So she's like tooling around and shit. I don't know. Hey, if you're out there having a good time and shit, that's cool. But if you gotta get up and go to the work the next day, maybe you should like dial it back from 11 to like a 9. You know what I mean? But anyway, so that was that was my yesterday and today. Um, but I forgot today is like Stranger Things Day, which is one of the things that I was like, oh, that shit. Because if you've ever watched Stranger Things, any of the first 3 seasons, well, I guess season 1 would be the most important for you to know this, but so Will goes like missing. It was very eventful. It was very like just strange today. Uh, I don't like. Okay, so at my we'll get sorry, sidetracked again. At my work, it's basically like they hired all the misfit toys. If you ever seen the old Christmas special about all the misfit toys, they basically hired all the misfit toys to like fucking work in one place. You know what I mean? Like, oh, dude, watch Stranger Things, dude. Like, legit. I'm not like you're not a kid of the '80s, but you'll like it. Like, I 100% believe you'll like it. But anyway, hold on. Before we get on Stranger Things, so like everybody is just at my work. Everybody's like, I don't know. I can't think of like the polite way to say it. So everybody's a fucking maniac, pretty much. And I work there, so you're like, oh, but that you're like I'm my own like kind of crazy. Obviously, if you fucking talk to me for more than 10 minutes, you'll be like, Jesus, this dude's crazy. But like everybody's like weird in their own way. And it's kind of funny how like the little cliques form, even though there's only like eight of us. You know what I mean? Like I pretty much keep to my fucking self. It's just I've always been that way. Like you, you know that weird kid at like the birthday parties and shit, and while everybody else is like trying to break the piñata open and get all the candy, that one weird kid that's like over by the fucking creek throwing rocks in the creek all by himself. That was pretty much me. Like I don't know. It's not even like I don't like I like parties. I like crowd or I don't necessarily like crowds. I don't have social anxiety. Like I like people. I like talking to people, but this sounds very what's the word? Like hipsterish, I guess. Um no. No, because I don't have that kind of perversion, Lunar. But anyway, that's funny. I I don't know. I just like being my mind. Oh, so like kind of hipsterish. Like if a bunch of people are like doing a thing, I'm kind of like I don't really want to do that. Like everybody's doing. Does that make sense? Which kind of I know that makes me sound like hipsterish, but only when like large groups of well, but I mean, fuck, groups of people stream, and I like doing that. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like I always like enjoy just kind of tooling off and going by myself, and you know what I mean. But I enjoy people, and it's I get it. I'm a weird motherfucker because I don't even 100% understand it myself, and I've been me for 45 years now. But anyway, so yeah, like we're just all weird, and I don't know. I don't think you could I don't think they could have on purpose found a bunch of more weird, different motherfuckers and put them all maybe at an insane asylum. You know what I mean? Maybe that's more like what it's like. It's like basically I work at an insane asylum, but all the insane people run the place. I don't know. Um, don't get me wrong. Like it's a good place to work. Like, no one really fucks with me. I've been there long enough. I kind of just like know what I'm supposed to do. For one, um, like I always say, I don't. I'm like anti-authority. I can't have a job where people are like breathing down my neck. Like I just can't. Well, okay, for one, for them to breathe down my neck, they'd have to be taller than me, and they're not gonna be taller than me. Like I get that. I'm not speaking like I'm speaking metaphorically. I don't like jobs where they breathe down my neck. So, and I've been there long enough that they don't do that. They're just kind of like, here's what you're supposed to do. Just go do it and don't kill yourself. Or actually, no, they don't say don't kill yourself. They just say don't kill other people. So, and I'm sure they don't want me to accidentally kill myself because they don't want a lawsuit. But, it's kind of like one of those things like, oh, do what you love and you never work a day in your life. I don't know. I kind of believe that, but I don't kind of believe it because at some point it's all work, no matter what you're doing. Like I say this all the time, like you, because you think, oh, I bet you being a porn star is great. Like you just having sex and you get paid money, lots of money. Well, maybe not as much money as it used to be, but and you just make. But I guarantee you, you know what I'm saying? Like they wake up and they're like, oh my God, I gotta suck another dick today. I don't want to. You know what I mean? It's still a fucking job, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Um, but that being said, for it being like a job that you got to wake up and go to every day, I actually have it pretty good. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been there long enough. They don't really fuck with me. They kind of just are. They just know I'm just gonna do the shit. You know what I mean? Like I may not. Like I definitely don't walk around like. You know what I mean? Like I'm not that. Like I usually have headphones on. I usually listen to like podcasts or music or sometimes TED Talks or shit like that. You know what I mean? I don't ignore anybody, but I don't know. I don't envision leaving for one until my other kid's grown and moves out. But I I don't have anything else that I like probably would love enough to like leave for. Obviously, shit could get worse. You know what I mean? Or things could go like downhill and I would probably leave, but it's kind of like you ever hear the stories about the guys that work in the factories and shit, and they've been there like 30 some years, and they don't leave because they kind of got it made. Like they paid their dues and shit. That's kind of my situation. I paid enough time. They let me pretty much do whatever. Every once in a while, there's shitty, really, really shitty days. But those are kind of far and few between. Maybe like one a month. Shit, sometimes like in the wintertime, our industry slows down. It's cold, like, or I guess where we are, it slows down. Maybe if you live in a warm climate, it would be busy all year round. But for us, it slows down. And there are probably like 2 months or 3 months where I really don't do shit for the most part. Like I still have to be there. Um. Anyway, I don't even know how we got started on work. Oh, because I smashed my hand. But I'm gonna switch and if you find it, because okay, hold on. Before people are always like, oh, it like quit your day job and go do what you love. I think you gotta kind of temper that with maybe keep your day job uh until that thing that you're super passionate a bit about like starts bearing some kind of fruit. I'm not ooh, 90 minutes. That's what's up. Damn, time's flying. I love that. I love when time flies. But and like you hear stories like what's his name from Breaking Bad? I seen an interview with him, Brian Cranston. Yeah, that's him. And he was talking about I never had a plan B. Acting was my thing, and I was gonna do it until like But for every person that never had like a plan B, you know what I mean? There's like 10 million other people that never had a plan B and their plan A never fucking worked out. You know what I mean? So I get it. If you don't have a plan B, then your shit, yeah, like you're more, I don't even know if you're more hungry. You know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily think it's that you're more hungry. Uh maybe you're more I don't even know if it would be that you're more lucky. I don't know. I personally think, but see, okay, so I'm still talking about Bryan Cranston. He says, "Oh, I didn't have a plan B. I just fucking stuck with plan A and knew like there was no other options." How many people had plan Bs and their plan As fucking worked out too? So, I don't and this is more like life philosophy or being philosophical or whatever. I don't think there's any one way to to do a thing. Well, maybe like lawyers. Well, no, not. I mean, okay, maybe being a doctor. Like you have to go to college. You have to fucking go to medical school. Like you have to. But other than shit like that, I think there's like more ways to like get where you're going. You know, uh, like we could use this shit, streaming. You know what I mean? We could use streaming as an example. Like you could start out doing, I don't know, like me, like I started out video game streaming on a different platform, and then I switched to this. I'm not saying this will blow up or this will be anything, but it could be. It's possible. And I maybe I get lucky and shit lines up at the right fucking I'm like in the right place at the right time, and maybe the 2 years I spent on Twitch like helped me in this shit. And do you see what I'm saying? As to where if I would have just started here, maybe none of that shit would have worked out in my. Does that make sense? So everybody's like everybody will yeah, no worries, Lunar. Everybody will give you advice and shit, and it, I I'm 45 years old, and I just probably realized within like the last couple years, advice is all perspective. You know what I mean? It's from the other person and how they see the world and how they interpret information and shit like that. Yo, what's up, Tag? Hey, what's up? Um, so like when somebody gives you advice, and this is partially where I fucked up when I streamed on Twitch, like because there's so much advice, you know what I mean? Um, but I know what you're gonna be like. But Biggie, how am I supposed to know which advice is good and which is bad? To be honest, I don't fucking know. I don't ask me. You know what I mean? I just know that when somebody gives you advice, you have to remember it's from their life experience, it's from their viewpoint. And sometimes when motherfuckers give you advice, it's not in your best interest, it's in their best interest. Do you see what I'm saying? So, um, I like that, Tag. I like that. Be open to the idea. Um, accept it all, take what you can and use it and try it. Yeah. Or well, okay, on the same line of what you're talking about or what you said, somebody's like, "Oh, you know what you should do? You should start a bakery. You'd be really good at a bakery." And okay, so you're not even thinking about fucking baking and you're like, "Damn, that But then that thought, right? That little fucking nugget of wisdom, which is weird and random, you start thinking about like, but fucking hot dog stand. I never fucking thought about that. I could open up a hot dog stand. Or no, you know what I could do? I could fucking start a food truck. And see, you weren't even thinking about a fucking food or food truck and shit, but because your uncle fucking Larry brought up fucking you should start a bakery because one time you made cookies that were really good and he didn't even know that you just bought them at the grocery store. Do you see what I'm saying? So I like that idea of be open to the advice, but maybe that advice isn't the like the greatest for you, but maybe there's something in it that would. I don't know. Advice is weird. I know we've talked about advice on stream before. It's just I'm kind of fascinated by it. Know when to take it, know when not to take it, know what's really beneficial for you. Like, I don't know. There's just so many fucking so many fucking layers to it. Or selling drinks on the street, right, Ham? But maybe you weren't even thinking about selling drinks on the street until Uncle Larry brought up the whole baking thing. Or, yeah. I don't know. I want to give good advice, but like everything's also through my, like I said, my own life. And like what is easy for me may not be easy for somebody else, or what's easy for them. Like Jaxs can do all types of shit that I can't do. Like I'm not good. I'm maybe some of it is just naturally innate in her to be able to do. It's not in me. And then there's some things that is just in me, and you know what I'm saying? So, if somebody was like, "Hey, you should just be an accountant," and you're like, "I flunked every math class I ever took," that's probably not a good idea. And like, I would just steal people. Like, okay, perfect example. For one, I can't be a police officer because I have felonies. I'm an ex-con, but let's just say that wasn't. I don't have the right personality. You know what I mean? To be a police officer. Like, we raid a house and there's this big stack of money. Is in my, I don't know. Like, I know it looked like a big pile of money, but really there was only $30 in there. You know what I mean? Like, and my shirt would have like money, and you know what I mean? Like, I know that advice would not be good for me for so many different reasons. So, I don't know. I feel like, and maybe it's just me, I feel like nowadays, like, advice culture and advice in general is huge. And maybe I just haven't been paying attention this whole time, but I feel like, I mean, obviously, okay, when I was a kid, we had newspapers. So, well, I mean, I obviously we still have newspapers, but newspapers were a bigger thing, like pre-internet. So, and they had like advice columns, like what was it, like Dear Abby or Ann Landers or some shit like that. It was usually women. You know what I mean? And like you could actually write with your hand on a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, write a letter and mail it to these thing, and they would like, and then obviously like Penthouse, they had their own. It's a different kind of advice thing, but you could write these newspaper advice columns, and they would be, just kind of weird, random stuff, like, I can't get my son to stop eating crayons, or just shit like that. And but I feel like over the last, I don't know, probably since the internet, it feels like advice culture, or maybe it's just because now everybody has an outlet to fucking put out their opinion, and look at everybody's lives and judge their life. I don't know. I don't know when it started. And I'm not even saying it's a bad thing. I mean, honestly, we don't. I mean, go back and look in history. Like, for the longest time, like, they were doing commercials where doctors were like, 4 out of 5 doctors smoke Cools. You know what I mean? Like, because it's good for you. And it has antioxidants in it. Not, they didn't say that, but you know what I mean? They said shit like that and then come out like 50 years later. Oh, yeah, cigarettes are fucking horrible for you. They give you cancer and they kill you. You know what I mean? Like, well, I guess they're just went our cigarette sponsorship for the stream. Sorry, everybody, I fucked that up. Anyway, uh, um, like, how long have we had the internet? Since what, like, I mean, in like homes, like obviously there was internet in like the late 70s or whatever, but very few people had access to it or whatever. But I'm talking about like home internet since what, like 93, 94, people started getting it in their houses. I don't know. I was in prison, so I know when I got out of prison, my parents had internet in their house and a few other people I knew. So what? So let's just say 94. Just the fucking, right? So what is that? 25 years. We have no real I don't know if 25 years is enough time to like do research and shit. But maybe in another 25 years we'll have data over like, oh, well, being on the fucking internet is like horrible for you. You know what I mean? Like, to me, people, but I don't know. There are a lot of positives to being on the internet. I don't know. Long story. Being, and I say a lot. I say that a lot on these streams. Anyway, long story short, just be careful when it comes to advice. I feel like a lot of times it's like a gut feeling, like it just feels right. You know what I mean? Or you just know a thing or have forgotten it. I don't know. I have a pretty good gut feeling. Every time my gut has said I should either do something or not do something, it's usually like 90% right. Every once in a while it's wrong, but I think that's in all of us. I just think sometimes we don't fucking listen to it. So, long spiel over about advice. Be careful. You know what I'm saying? Take it, I guess that's why they came up with that saying, take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? I know for me, okay, because like, okay, so for me, like Jaxs gives me advice on a regular basis. And I know sometimes she thinks I don't listen to her, but sometimes I need to like really, really fucking think about it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't necessarily make sense to me. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, she's 100% right. You know what I mean? And then I try and incorporate or do whatever the advice was. And sometimes I'm like, I 100% fucking disagree with that. And then the funny thing about that is I fucking have to go back and like 2 weeks later and be like, damn, you were right. I was fucking wrong. So, which is like the flip side of if you have somebody in your life or whatever that's like that you know has your back, because there's people that are like, yeah, I got your back, bro. I fucking got you, and they fucking don't. You know what I mean? Like I know for me, that was probably like one of the biggest fucking things I learned. Not one of the biggest. One of the things that I learned when I went to prison. Because before I went, I had all these people. I thought they fucking had my back. I thought like we were ride or die motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And as soon as I went to prison, them motherfuckers dropped me so fucking fast. You know what I mean? So, shit. I fucking, yesterday, Lunar, I fucking came home. My hand was hurting, like, obviously. And I just fucking felt, I don't know, not like shit, like I have the flu, but just like I felt off. Like, kind of like shit off. And I was like, I'm going to lay down and take like an hour nap, which I have gotten away from because I used to, back when I was streaming on Twitch, I'd come home, take a nap. Like that was just part of my daily routine. But since I took since I took a break and whatever, I haven't really taken it. But I felt like shit. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to lay down and take an hour nap. 4.5 hours later, I fucking wake up and I'm like, what the fuck? I just slept for 4.5 hours. Like, holy shit. And, but then the good part was, Jaxs. Yeah, I just wanted a nap too. And then that's shit. Dude, there were times I would come home from work when I was streaming like hardcore and like I would call off the stream because I was just like exhausted, and I would go to bed and at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I would just sleep till the fucking alarm went off in the morning. You know what I mean? Like that didn't happen a lot, but there were times that like if you were, you know, if you were watching those streams back in the day and you would see on Twitter or in Discord, and I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I feel like shit, there'll be no stream tonight. That's what would happen. I would just go to straight sleep and sleep for like 14 fucking hours. But anyway, I forgot. Yeah, I took that nap. I got up. We went and had pizza. So, and then I stayed up till probably like 1 in the morning because I couldn't fucking fall asleep at my normal fucking bedtime. My sleepy night time. But that was cool. Like, I think sometimes you gotta shake up your fucking schedule. Like, you know what I mean? At least for me. I know some people are like super strict and they don't like want their schedule. They're very routine based. And I get that. If that's your jam, fucking rock it out. For me, that shit drives me insane. Like I need to change. Like even if it's just stupid stuff like just rearranging the furniture or move, like, oh, I'm gonna move the keyboard over a foot. Now it's different. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be. Now I have to move it back because it's too weird. Anyway, I just fucking I need some kind of variation, and I think honestly that probably comes from prison because so many days are just the same. So, but anyway, you're supposed to be talking about Stranger Things, motherfucker. Sorry. I know that was like 40 minutes of our lives about advice and shit. Sorry. Shit, Lunar, you haven't seen any of Stranger Things, have you? Damn. I didn't think about that when I was like, oh, we should talk about Stranger Things. Because I don't want to ruin it. I want people to watch it. Well, okay. So the easiest way to do it is November 6th is Stranger Things Day because in the show, Will goes missing on November 6th. But I like that. I like that. I like when you're like, oh, after work I'm gonna go do this, and I'm gonna do, like, for me sometimes it's like, oh, I need to do a load of laundry, or sometimes I need to like clean up the mess that I made from yesterday, or you know what I mean, like just change it up. And sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go home and it won't ruin shit for you. Okay, sweet. Um, hopefully you'll still watch it though. So I I like having shit to do after work, but every once in a while, it's nice to just fucking come home and like watch a shit ton of TV. Which I always want to be doing something, but I think every once in a while watching TV is like, we can't all be out rock climbing. As I don't want to rock climb. Okay, maybe that was a bad example. We can't all be out just doing like amazing shit. Like it just doesn't. It's just not possible. For one, if we're all okay, if I was using rock climbing as an example, if we're all out rock climbing, there's no space because like you would show up and there'd be like 9,000 people climbing the fucking rock that you wanted to climb. Okay, that's very specific. Very specific, Lunar. I like it. I don't know if it's in that order. Do you mix it up? Do you like go right home and like crank it out and then maybe eat dinner and then take a shit? Maybe throw a shower in there every once in a while? Oh fuck. Hose yourself off. I just I don't know why I just envisioned Lunar outside with the garden hose. See, that's an Indiana thing. Like people outside just hosing themselves off. Shit. I was at a gas station today and because I like to take a break from work and go down and get something to drink from the gas station. So I was at the gas station and like there's a cart pushed up to the like by the door. I go in and there's obviously there's a woman inside and obviously lives on the street in some form or fashion, and she was in there buying a coffee and she's like counting out change or whatever, and she's like a dime short, so it's just a coffee. And but I was like, no, I'll pay for it, and she was like super happy. And um I don't know, it made me feel good. Like it's because if you ever seen that fucking episode where Phoebe and Joey have the argument over selfless acts, it's actually pretty funny. But he was like, there is no such thing as selfless acts, because if you do something nice for somebody and it makes you feel good, you actually did it for yourself. I don't know. That he's kind of right though. Like, but anyway, it just made me feel good. It was like $1 or something, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Um, it just was like, fuck. I know that I know this life. I've you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you've ever um had hard times, or well, I guess all humans have had hard times. That was stupid. Or just been in a fucked up place in your life, and then you see someone else in that, and then okay, so you were in a fucked up place in your life, and then you see, like, you get out of it, and then you see someone uh like in that same place that you were, and like there's this like for me it's this weird like bond, or maybe not bond, but like for me, I see homeless people walking around. I'm like, fuck. Like there's this guy by my work living under a bridge. Like he's it's, you know how there's an embankment up underneath bridges, and then there's like it goes up and like this. Yeah, exactly, Lunar. Well, there's a guy. He's got a mattress up there. Like he sleeps, and every winter, like every day, I think, man, I should like stop at McDonald's and get him a sandwich and like a coffee or a hot chocolate or something. I don't, but I think maybe I don't think about it every day because sometimes I'm in my own shit and I don't. But every once in a while, I'll look up there and I'll just see him up there, and I'm like, fuck, I really should probably do something. And then I know you're like, oh, well, it's his fucking choice. You know what I mean? And it's a small part of that. I also have that same feeling like when I see some of the places that we deliver to for my work are by prisons in Indiana. So like I drive by and I fucking look over and like you see the guys out in the yard and shit, and I'm like, fuck. I know that fucking life. I know that fucking feeling. You know what I mean? And it like, I don't know. It just makes me feel some type of way. Like maybe I should do something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what I don't even know what got me on that train of thought. I just it's weird because sometimes I feel like we're all connected together, and like you can be like, oh, the internet, but I pretty much felt that way before the internet. Like we're all connected together in weird ways. Um, and I think sometimes we fucking don't realize it, or we forget, or I don't know. I know when I see people, quote unquote, hard times or whatever, it just makes me feel some type of way. And I don't have money like obviously if I was a billionaire, like I'd be giving out all types of money and doing like I'm just a regular motherfucker that works a job, and you know what I mean. I don't know. It just made me feel good. I bought one cup of coffee. Like it. No, does it fucking change the world? No, I'm not. I don't believe that. But it was just like a nice thing. I think like just trying to do nice shit, because sometimes you do something nice and it fucking backfires like horribly. You know what I mean? You're like, oh shit, like that was not. You think so? I don't know, man. I see a lot of people that I don't know if it's an act or like most of my shit I don't give a fuck about. Uh, and like adults, sometimes I don't necessarily give a fuck. Uh, Kids, like they don't have choices. You know what I mean? The world is pretty much just like put upon them. They don't really have a choice. Adults, I'm kind of like, well, you do have a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like they may be shitty choices, but you still have choices. Kids really don't. I just see a lot of people that I think just like don't give a. Okay, so here recently, uh, kind of on this topic, uh, I see a lot of videos, uh, of like kids beating up other kids, like, and sometimes it's like special needs kids or like deaf kids or blind kids or shit like that. And I think I remember as a kid growing up, like if you fuck with somebody with special needs or some, another kid would come out of nowhere and beat your fucking ass. You know what I mean? Like, and I see all these videos of like 2 and 3 and 4 kids. There was a video on Twitter where there was like 3 or 4 kids beating up a special needs kid, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, I don't remember that as a kid. Like, were people dicks? Absolutely. Like, being a dick isn't something that just happened. Um, hey, what's up, Agra? That's funny. Getting your ass beat was a requirement, which is, that's funny. I don't. Um, I, we've all been assholes. Everybody's been an asshole as a kid. I never fucking as a kid I never fucking got in a fight or tried to beat up somebody that I felt like fucking deserved it or that was trying to put their hands on me. You know what I mean? Because for one, holy shit, let the school call or or somebody else call my dad and say, yeah, we seen E down here like beating up this kid in a wheelchair. I would not have survived that. There's no fucking way. Like, there was some other shit I almost didn't survive, and it was not nearly on the same level. Now, instead of getting beat up, you just get cyberbullied. Um, I I tried to look up one day what exactly is cyberbullying. Um, because like if it's just like I remember. See, I guess because that's where I'm lucky because I never had the internet as a kid. But I remember to this day being in like shit, I don't remember. Uh I had to have been in like 5th or 6th grade because it wasn't like 7th or 8th. But I remember being like we were playing kickball and a kid walked up to me and said some shit about my mom and literally spit in my face. Like spit in my face. I pushed him down and fucking kicked the shit out of him. You know what I mean? But I still, and that was like way worse than somebody like being like, "Oh, you're a fat piece of shit" on the internet. I don't know. I don't know if kids are afraid to throw hands. I really don't. Yeah, I don't know because there's a shit ton of like fighting kids, just like regular kids fighting. So I still think kids fight. And maybe they fight now because somebody talks shit on their Instagram post and they're like, "Oh yeah, bet motherfucker, next time I see you at school," or I don't know. All right, aggro. Aggro has a plan. I like it. I don't know if it's people are snowflakes or it's more like group mentality. I don't know. I think for one, I think culture is different. When I grew up, okay, I had friends. I lived at my dad's house, and then he got married, my stepmom. So I had like a dad and mom, you know what I mean? And then I would go stay at my grandma's house. So I had friends at my dad's house because that's the house I went where I went to school and shit. And then I had friends at my grandma's house because I would be there on a regular basis. No matter what house I was at, I had friends, and maybe because I was a fucked up kid and like birds of a feather, so like fucked up kids have fucked up friends. You know what I mean? We all said horrible, horrible shit to each other. You know what I mean? As like I I never I never wanted to make any of them cry. Like that wasn't even, but we always said talk shit about them, their parents, the fucking clothes they wore. Like that was like just a thing. Like, and it wasn't like trying to make them upset or make them cry. You were just trying to make everybody laugh. You know what I mean? And as weird as it sounds, I think a lot of us got thick skinned out of it. You know what I mean? Like what are you gonna what else are you gonna and like every once in a while in all honesty, every once in a while a motherfucker would say something that kind of fucking stung. Like, damn, that was actually like you're not gonna tell him, oh, that was a good one. You know what I mean? Because then he'll be like, oh, I'm on to something. But he definitely would say some shit that was like you would be laughing and shit, but on the inside you'd be like, damn, that hey man, that one kind of hurt. Kind of like on on what is it, Scream or whatever. He's like at the end of Scream where he's like, hey man, I think you got me too deep. But anyway, I don't I watched like my older kid with all his friends, they don't do that. Like they but I kind of when my oldest kid started getting older in like his teenage years, I kind of did that. Like he would give me a hard time, I would give him a hard time. And my thought was like I tell him every day I love him, like, but my thought was like I don't want him to go out into the world and for him to be at a job and somebody to say something to him and him just fucking break down. You know what I mean? Like I wanted him to have at least a little bit of thick skin. The youngest one just he doesn't give a fuck. Like I get he's like he doesn't give a shit what anybody says, or if he does, he definitely doesn't let anybody know it. But my oldest one, like I could tell, sometimes he would let what people say get to him. So, was that the right thing to do? Like I wasn't in there like trying to burn him down to nothing. You know what I mean? But I like just little jabs and for me as a kid, like that was like some of the best shit. Um, I don't know. You would say something, and you would like really like burn like your friend in the group or whatever, and everybody would laugh and like I don't know. I don't know if kids do that nowadays, and maybe that's why um it feels like everybody's like softer because I don't know. That's like a sociological experiment that would be interesting to see because it seems like everybody my age, or like I said, maybe because I'm a fucked up person and all the people that I know are fucked up people and all the friends that I have are fucked up people. You know what I mean? Like my cousin's that just passed away, her ex-husband, um like probably one of my best friends in life. I could say the most fucking burning, horrible fucking shit to him. You know what I mean? And that motherfucker would probably laugh, and we would laugh together. You know what I mean? And maybe it's intent too, because if you're just like fucking with each other and there's no like malicious intent, I don't know. Yeah, but I seriously think there's a difference between like trolling each other because I would say that's what my oldest kids and his group of friends do. Like they kind of troll each other and they kind of give each other a hard time. You know what I mean? But like I don't know, like we we would say shit about your, you know what I mean? Like stuff about people's moms and grandparents, you know what I mean? Like, and man, I tell you what, there would be times people would say shit about my grandma. That shit would get me. That would be the times that I'd be like, oh, that was a good one, motherfucker. I remember that shit. You want me to talk about your sister? That's fine. Remember that shit, motherfucker. Oh shit. I don't. And if you go on social media, there's plenty of like still fucked up people. You know what I mean? Doing and saying fucked up shit. But I think you have to fucking like look at the intent behind it. If that makes sense. Because now that's not, I'll be honest, that's not that bad of a, that's not that bad of a nickname. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't even know how we got on the topic of like burning down. But like I said, maybe it's because I was like a shitty kid. Yeah, yeah, like when I when I was a kid at my grandma's house, I had a friend and his mom, actually it was like his stepmom, but she was like, we're like 15 and and his dad obviously is like 35, 40 or whatever, but he ends up marrying like a 28-year-old, or I don't know, she was like late 20s, maybe she was 30, I don't know. but we're all like 15, 16 years old, and we would always talk shit about how it's like him like banging his stepmom, and you know what I mean? Just I don't know. Like, did that shit bother him? Probably not. It probably was way funnier than some of the other horrible fucking shit that we would say each. And I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sure there were times that people said shit that led to a fight. Um, but I don't remember the few times that I remember any of us actually like getting the physical fights wasn't over words. It was over shit being. But that was like in our teenage years. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I definitely didn't stay friends. Like, you know, I started hanging around other people, uh, probably a little more shady than and doing shit than like those friends were willing to do, and I don't know. So, long story short, that's like the ninth time I've said that. Uh, I don't know why uh, kids feel like they can just beat up and do. I don't know where are the kids that wouldn't tolerate shit like that. I don't know. I didn't when I was little I bullied kids until the school called my dad. And he was like pretty much like, I'll always be bigger than you, which wasn't true. But when you're little, like I believed him. But he was like, I will always be bigger than you, and you'll never bully me, and I'll never let you bully another kid. And I didn't after that. Uh, but when I got into my teenage years, like I never liked seeing anybody like bully other people, and I would say shit, but I don't remember fighting anybody that was bullying somebody. Like I remember watching fight like legit fights. I think that's still a thing for kids. Like two kids get into it. Like if it's just a straight up two people fighting. Uh oh yeah, my there's a comedian and he has a joke. I wish I remember. I would love to give him credit. Not like Kevin Hart, not nobody like that. But this comedian has a joke that was like, that's like uh growing up in my house, you would have thought that my dad thought thought we were at a birthday party, um cuz he beat me like a pin he beat me like a piñata. Oh, fuck, I wish I butchered the joke, sorry. I'm sorry. But he was like, he beat me like he thought I had candy inside me or some shit like that, which is hysterically funny. Which is like my situation with my dad. Like that's how he resolved every issue. You know what I mean? Like that's why for the longest time I didn't get along with them. You know what I mean? Like, but you know that shit is what it is. Like I'm not like it's kind of funny. We're back on parenting. It's kind of funny how uh from I'll say probably, yeah, no worries, Leonard. Probably probably from like 11 to 12 to like 25, right? If you would have asked my parents like, are you guys good parents? They'd have been like, no. Our kid's a fuck up, like homeless, shot, out there doing horrible shit to people, in prison. You know what I mean? And like, um, oh, that reminds me, prison. I remembered something But anyway, so if you would ask them in that time period, like, oh, are you a good parent? They'd have been like, no. Like, look at our kid. He's a fuck up, right? And then ask them now, be like, are you a good parent? They'd be like, yep, we're good parents. Look at our kid. Like, he got a job. Like, he owns his own house. He's got like grown kids, and they're not crazy killing people in prison. Like, they're just normal fucking people with jobs and shit. Well, one of them has a job. And it's kind of funny how in like so I guess what I'm trying to say is you could be a shitty parent and and like, I'm not saying they were shitty. I'm sure they thought that they were doing the best. I don't fucking know. I don't know what they think. I never really asked them. I usually get answers like, I don't know. I don't even remember. So, which they're in their 60s. Like, how are they going to remember 30 years ago? You know what I mean? Like, I only remember 30 years ago because it's the shit that was happening to me. But anyway, it's funny how like shit can flip for you as a parent, not because of anything that you've done, but because um the kid just decides. For me, in my example, like I could have always been in prison or kept going back or got killed, or you know what I mean, and then their story would have been, yeah, we weren't good parents. Like, look at him, like he spends all his time in prison, and or he ends up dead, you know what I mean, and like they'd have been like, no. But because like I went to prison and got out and decided like, fuck, I don't want to go back. I'm gonna fucking go off and be a regular schmo and like not do all the stupid shit that got me to prison. Like, because I chose that, like it flips their story, and now they're like good parents. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure like all the people that have gone and done horrible shit like Dahmer and like, maybe their parents thought they did a good job, and then at the very end they got flipped to find out that they did a horrible job. Or maybe they really did do a good job, but their kid went off and decided to do, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's a weird it's like a weird fucking dynamic of life, because you think you're doing a good job, and then your kid goes off and does horrible shit, and then makes you reevaluate the shit that you're doing. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, good old Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey. So on the subject of prison, I fucking was scrolling. I think I was on Twitter. It's Twitter, and I seen this video. And so in prison, like obviously, they give you food and you can eat it, and it's edible. Most of the time, your body gets used to it. In the beginning, like there's probably a decent amount of diarrhea and shit like that. But if you have money, you can buy shit off commissary. And I'm actually going to try and find one of because one of these times I want to like pull it up and like show you. And but there's commissary. If you have people that give a shit about you, or you quit smoking for 2 months, good shit, Lunar. That's what's up, dude. Or no, were you doing, or you vaped, right? Do you even vape, bro? Not anymore. I can't remember what you told me. But if you have money on your books, you can buy shit off commissary, and you can make what's called a slam. And so long story short, 10 times this stream. I was scrolling, and somebody actually made a video of what it would take to make a slam or whatever. and I was like, oh shit, that's actually kind of cool. Um, and it's relatively inexpensive, and it's like Raymond and like other shit. I don't know why I found that interesting. Excuse me. I find it interesting that so many people are interested in prison culture, and probably because it's a what's that shit called? A subculture. Anything that's not mainstream or whatever is like a subculture, like prison subculture, biker subculture. You know what I mean? Did you just quit cold turkey? Like one day you were like, "Yep, fuck vaping, throw that shit in the trash." Okay, so a slam. Like if you were gonna make a slam in prison, depending on your commissary list, because every prison or every institution is different. So, but basically, every slam is made from uh, ramen, ramen noodles, whatever, like meat or like some institutions, like you can get like Slim Jims, um, shit like that. Where I was actually really lucky. I was in a place called uh, it used to be called CIC, Correctional Industrial Complex, but now it's called CIF, Correctional Industrial Facility. I don't know why I fucking don't know why they changed the name, but they changed the name. It was the main prison hub for all food. So all meat is butchered there. Vegetables are like processed there. So I was lucky. I knew somebody that worked in the butchery, and that's kind of how all prisons worked. There's commerce back and forth. He would bring meat back from the butchery, and so we had fresh meat. And but if you don't have access, which most people don't, you can use like Slim Jims or beef jerky or whatever. And maybe sometimes you don't. Maybe you're vegan. I, man, if you're vegan in prison, you're gonna have a hard time. But I'm sure it's doable. I guess you'd eat a lot of peanut butter. Or wait, can vegans eat peanut butter? I don't know. If you don't eat that, then yeah, you're in trouble. Um, I would think vegan. It's a nut. It's not of an animal, right? Anyway, sorry. So you take your ramen, you boil water, get hot water, make it. Take your Slim Jims or whatever meat. Then you take like Doritos or some kind of chip. You don't have to use chips. You can use like saltine crackers, shit like that. Uh, ooh, I have an idea for a cooking stream. Oh, that's a good idea. I should write that down. Um, sorry, random. That's kind of how my brain works. And you uh like cook the ramen, then you open the bag of chips. There's a way to open chips to where like you open it by the seams, so all the chips are like still on the like inside. You know what I mean? You lay it on the table. You cook your ramen, and you can put all types of shit, whatever you can have access to in the ramen, and then you dump it on the chips. Now this is if you're eating as like a group, like a yeah. I'm writing it down right now. Food stream. I have a really good idea. I don't know if anybody will watch it, but it's interesting. I'm writing it down. Quit sweating me. Anyway, um, and then you can make individual slams, just like in a bowl, where you would cook your ramen, put meat, put hot sauce, smash up chips, put in it, stir it up, eat it. You know what I mean? There's a million different ways to make slam. They call them slams. I don't know why the fuck they call them that. That's just maybe because you're slamming food together and then slamming it in your face cave. I don't know. But I seen that dude make that video. All right. Yeah, I'm also going to change up. We're not always going to be green screen streams. So, but I have to still set that up. I've just been using the old setup from Twitch. So, what I would like is another camera. But that's a future me problem. Present me doesn't give a fuck. I don't know. I'm interested in there's been some people like hit me up in DMs and shit and talk about prison, and I don't know. There's just like I don't know if it's recent. It feels recent. Maybe it's always been there and I just never paid attention. But there's just been this like fascination with like prison culture. And it's not like there's like a hit TV show about prison right now, or maybe there is and I just don't know it because I don't watch regular TV. I don't know. But yeah, I might do a like how to cook like certain foods or whatever from like prison perspective, because as weird as it sounds, uh like prison motherfuckers have to be super resourceful because your options are very fucking limited. You know what I mean? Like um I mean, Jax was telling me I think a couple days ago, like, which I want to know how she would know this, but maybe she's looked it up. Like commissary lists are like way more like in depth than they used to be a long time ago. And I used to think like back then, like you could get all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? But I guess now motherfuckers get phones and tablets and shit in prison. Holy fuck. That shit's crazy. Like, I wonder what their data usage is like. Because you'd pretty much be on Pornhub the whole fucking time. You know how much money you would make if you had a fucking cell phone? You'd make a lot of money. Obviously all your data would probably be going to Pornhub, but it'd be worth it. Because everything is like 10 times more expensive if you're trying to like do something uh like outside the lines or outside the rules, if that makes sense. If you want to get high or if you want to get drunk or if you want, you know what I mean, it's 10 times more expensive. um Uncensored prison stories I'll stream. I mean, if you want, I mean, to be honest, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I personally, like, I got in fights. I never stabbed nobody because it was never that fucking deep to me. Um, like, did I see people get stabbed? Yeah. Like, but not a lot. Like, it wasn't. Cause see, where I was is still like there's still guard towers, whatever you want to call them. Yo, it's chaotic. What's up? Um, like there's guard where I was. Like it wasn't level 4. It was level 3. So obviously there's fence, gun towers. You know what I mean? Like shit ton, like state troopers. We were right next door to the like next level, which I think was like 4/5, with like the concrete wall all the way around. You know what I mean? Like, um, but I I didn't have a horrible fucking experience. Like, yeah, I got in fights, like, and no one tried to stab me. Like, I, it really is one of those things, though. Like, once motherfuckers know that you'll stand up for yourself, you know what I mean? You'll still get in fights because motherfuckers don't give a shit. You're everybody. Just so we're clear, everybody in there isn't in there trying to get Boy Scout badges. You know what I mean? Like everybody in there is a fucked up motherfucker, and it's basically a bunch of fucking alpha males all running around. You know what I mean? Um, but you're maybe you're less likely to get fucked with when people know that you'll stand up for yourself Because when you have unlimited time on your hands, or not unlimited, you have just like there's nothing going on, like psychological mind games and just fucking with people is like the same as like watching Jerry Springer. Like it's just something to do, you know what I mean? And so you have that side of it, but as long as if you just fucking stand up for yourself, you know what I'm saying? And the weird thing is, out in the world, like you pretty much let like shit go, but in there you can't let anything go. Does that make sense? Like like somebody cuts you off in traffic and you honk the horn and they're like, go fuck yourself, you know what I mean? And you're like, no, fuck you, and like you just go, or maybe you follow them, and I don't know. Me personally, I just fucking keep going about my life. But like in prison, like you can't have that kind of exchange and think that it's just gonna go away, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like where I was, there was actually more like they called them schlockings, and that's basically where you take your padlock off, because you get a padlock for your locker. You take your padlock off and you put it in like 3 or 4 pairs of socks and fucking tie a knot in it. There were more of that than there were stabbings. You know what I mean? So, but I've seen like I'd almost rather get stabbed than have somebody like damn near beat me to death with that shit. Like you see a motherfucker all fucked knotted up because he been hit 20 times with a fucking padlock. Like you're like you ever seen that movie Elephant Man and shit? That's what a motherfucker looks like, especially if like 2 motherfuckers are hitting you with, you know what I mean? Like shit's all like gnarly and like shit is split and like it's fucking ugh. I luckily like the worst thing ever happened to me, I got into it with somebody on basketball and you can't really see it, but he hit me he hit me really good. He dazed the fuck out of me. He hit me in my like underneath my chin, and like if I shaved you could see the fucking scar. You know what I mean? Underneath my chin. But he hit me with a fucking uppercut. And yeah. Dazed the fuck out of me. And gave me a big fucking nasty for the longest time it was pretty fucking gnarly, the scar. But time fades, that kind of shit, so I don't know. I'm always just kind of interested in like why people are interested in that. It's really kind of mundane and boring for the most part. Like there's good days. It's just like any normal life. But I also had the advantage too that no one gave a fuck about me and I didn't give a fuck about anybody on the outside. So I'm sure doing time is way fucking harder when you got people like kids and shit like that. I didn't have kids. I didn't have anybody. Oh, sob. Oh, chicken, bacon, mac and cheese. That's what's up. I love mac and cheese with bacon on it and chicken to boot. That's what's up. Um, yeah, but see, that's the thing. It doesn't matter how big you are. Like somebody's gonna step to you no matter what. You know what I mean? Like there was a guy that was just the same height as me, so he was 6'8", and like I was in really good shape, and I was probably like 250. But there was a guy, he was my height, and he was probably like 280, 290, been incarcerated most of his like adult life. He was older than me. I was like 22, 23. This guy's probably like 35. And he was just like pretty much like have you seen that video of the guy, the big muscle guy, walking into the fucking restaurant and then he kicks the like food out of some dude's hand? Like that's pretty much I wouldn't say the average, but that's a pretty typical build of motherfuckers in prison. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, I mean, it's a subculture. Like, I get it. It's the same reason that people are into uh, like biker stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's just another subculture. Um, and like, I don't knock it. Don't get me wrong. 100% don't fucking knock it. Um. Oh, but so there's a dude. He's my height. He's like just jacked because been no, no. See, everybody thinks that you gotta go in. And you do listen. You do not have to go in and pick a fight, and this is the reason why, because somebody there's nobody taking straws. Like, nobody volunteers. Somebody at some point will test you, and everybody is watching. Everybody is watching everything that is being done, said. That shit's being memorized. Like, if you say a thing, somebody is remembering it. So when you go in and something happens, everybody is watching. So, like, let's just say, random thing. It's chow time. You go to get your food. You get your food. You go to sit down. The guy next to you reaches over and he takes your fucking orange, right? He starts peeling it and he starts eating it. Now, and if you're at your local Panera, you're like, hey, you're being a fucking dick. And you fucking move somewhere else and you get another orange. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you just fucking blast him in his face. But if you're incarcerated and that shit happens, you better, like, it doesn't matter if you get your ass beat or not. That's immaterial. You better do something about it. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if you don't, everybody's seen it. Everybody. Like, it's funny. Prison is like the biggest fucking gossip. Like, it's so much more gossipy than like a fucking, like, girls like in the 50s when they have like sleepovers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty much it. And like, being weak and shit is, I don't know. It is okay, but it's not okay. Like, okay, prime example. Prime fucking, I'll give you an example. So I am maybe 6 months in. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe I'm 6 months in. And I get a visit, and I know that I was with a woman, a girl, when I went in, and I said in the very beginning, like, this is your time to jet. I'm not going to do 90 days and then get out. Like, I'm going away for years. I know this. Like, I know. Like, this is before I went to court. Like, I already know. I'm going away for years. Bail. Like, you should bail. Don't fuck with me. I will try and find you when I get out. Right? She's like, no. I'm fucking ride or die. I'm down. We're going to do this. I'll fucking look out. And I'm like, okay. But, like, I'm giving you, this is your out. This is your out. She's like, no, I'm ride or die. I'm like, okay. 6 months in, like, in the beginning, she's like strong, whatever. Like 4 or 5 months, I can kind of see it. The shit's wavering. I'm like, she stops coming to visit for a while, and then she pops up and she's coming for a visit. And I'm like, I already kind of know how this is going to go. I already kind of know how it's going to go. Comes to the visit. It goes exactly how I planned. She, like, says, yeah, I fucking can't do this. Like, I didn't, when you said years, I thought you meant like a year or two. Like, motherfucker, you're about to go away for, like, 7 years or some shit. 7 actual years. Because that was the kind of time I was looking at. And she's like, yeah, I'm just not doing it. And it fucking, like, it, like, broke my fucking heart. Like, because I thought I loved her. At the time, I had no concept what love was. I didn't even know. I said that but I didn't really know because I had no idea what love is. Separate story. So I'm fucking crying. I get up. There's other people in the visiting room that are going back to the same dorm that I'm going to, and I'm like, fuck, I'm in prison, and I'm crying. Like, fuck. So I try and like wipe tears and shit off my face. By the time I get back to the dorm, right? I'm in a dorm where you have like individual cells. I was pretty well, no, there were some cells that had doubles, but I was lucky I had individual. By the time I go back, it's pretty close to lights out. Lights out. Wake up the next day, go out. Everybody that was in that thing had already told everybody that my girl had left me and that I was down there crying. We go out to basketball, or we go out to like, I always played basketball, I was tall. But so we go to gym or whatever, and we go to gym, and motherfucker started talking shit right off the bat. Right off the bat. Do you know what I mean? So obviously there's a fucking fight. And all that had happened was a woman left me and I fucking cried. But I looked fucking weak, like I was a bitch. You know what I mean? Which in like prison culture. But see, the difference is, like, if you're in prison and your mom dies, or a loved one dies, or your kid dies, or some shit like that, you could cry. That's okay. Like, or I mean, people are like, you know, motherfuckers will come up to you and be like, man, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, and these motherfuckers you don't even know. Do you see what I'm saying? But your girl leaves you and you fucking cry. They automatically think you're weak or soft. Do you see what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It's just it's what it's like I always say, like it's like a one-legged man trying to explain to you, if you have two legs, what it's like to have one leg. You can't really explain it or describe it to where he's going to understand until he has to do it. It's not that'd be funny. A Biggie movie. I don't even know what. Oh, I know what I would. No, I don't know what I'd title it. But who would fucking play me? I'd want. I want Shia LaBeouf to play me. I know Shia LaBeouf's like 5 foot tall, but they just put him on things and make him look bigger. You know what I mean? Shia LaBeouf. That's who I'd want to play me. Like young me. That'd be dope. I don't know. Like, it really just boils down to, at some point somebody's gonna do something and you just gotta stand up for yourself. And it doesn't even matter. Like I said, I watch people like, quote unquote, Forrest Whitaker. Hey, that'd be cool. Except for the weird eye thing, which I don't know if I have. He has that eye thing, which I don't know what that is. I don't know if his eye is dead or. But fuck it. Have you ever seen Ghost Dog? Oh shit, what a great movie. I love that movie. It's really like, yeah, big eye. Well, I wasn't in that kind of shape. I was in good shape, but I wasn't in that kind of shape. Terry Crews on a whole nother level of like being in shape. You know what I mean? Like, that motherfucker, he's my age, and Jesus, him and The Rock, those fucking guys. But like Rock gets up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and like lifts weights for 3 hours. I don't know. Long story short, that's like the 11th time I've said that. But anyway, yeah, you just fucking stand up for yourself. Um, it's weird. It's weird. It's weird for most people, especially if it's like your first time. And then you just kind of get a routine and you fucking stick with it. And And then one day they're like, hey, pack your shit. Lawrence Fishburne? I don't know. He might be too old. Like maybe old me. Yo, I I didn't get hip to oh, there we go. Yeah, as much as I say fuck, that's probably actually more appropriate. Um I wasn't hip, but I guess Apple is coming out with their own streaming service. The only reason I bring it up is because I seen on Twitter that M. Night Shyamalan did a TV show on Apple TV. So I know this is a stupid question, but do you have to have Apple products to get Apple TV? Because I kind of want to watch that fucking show, but I don't have any Apple products. You would think they would be smart and make it available to everybody and just charge me for it. I don't know. They are going to make it that way? Okay, cool. I might have to. Yeah, it's called okay, fucking no, just listen before you go watch the trailer. It's called The Servant or something like that. And it's basically, just bear with me. It's basically about a woman who has a baby, and then I think the baby dies of like SIDS or something. And the only way she can cope is by getting a like lifelike baby and pretending that it's real. And she gets back to like normalcy or being normal or whatever. And then she hires a nanny for the baby that's not real. I watched the trailer and I didn't even like I watched it and then I was like, "Do what?" Excuse me? I don't know. I never like that's fucked up. Like Sixth Sense and shit is kind of fucked up. Obviously the ending and or whatever. But M. Night Shyamalan just made a TV show about a woman's baby doll having a nanny. But it's like shot, you know, like it's creepy. Yo! Uh Adam, if you're coming from Twitch, what was your Twitch name? Or if not, like what's up, Adam? How you doing? Oh, it's Wastelander! Ah, yes. And yo, Tar Heel, are you not supposed to be at fucking work right now? Make me a pizza. No, I'm kidding. What's up, Tar Heel? How you doing? What's up, Wastelander? Go away, baiting. See, what you guys know is that's a joke between me and him because we really like the movie Idiocracy. And if you've never seen the movie Idiocracy, it's 100% okay to leave the stream and go watch it right now. You're slow. Go away, baiting. The first like 5 minutes of Idiocracy is like the funniest shit ever. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was talking for the people that don't know, I'll drop a link in the description after the stream or whatever, but we have a Discord. I was talking to Tar Heel. Probably gonna start playing Division 1 again, doing survival and just other shit. I don't I don't I like money. That was my donation alert on Twitch for the whole time that I had a donation alert. I never changed it. But yeah, I was talking to Tar Heel about playing some Division 1. I don't hate Division 2. I just have a fondness for Division 1. I don't need gear. I have everything. I don't need gear. I don't need anything in Division 1. I have everything. You know what I mean? Yeah, but what machines? Like everything was so poorly ran, chaotic. Like what? Like the cars and stuff? Because I mean, cars. I don't know. I've worked in a shop before. There's some fucking tools in that bitch. Okay, I will keep your identity 100% secret. Jax was telling me there's a way that you can change your YouTube name or whatever. Yeah, I've seen Zombieland 2. It's actually pretty good. Maybe not as good as the first one, but it's pretty good. Yeah, but basic car mechanics and shit like that, chaotic. Like I said, I've worked in a shop and there's some fucking like they're mechanically inclined, but they would have a hard time tying their shoes. Uh, like truck, like tractor trailer. I had so much fun working there though because there's a weird. That's like a subculture in itself, like mechanics or like guys who work with their hands. No, but just uh, that culture of just guys. It reminds me of like what we were talking about earlier, like kids busting each other's balls and like saying horrible shit to each other. It's kind of that same mentality. At least the shop that I worked in. Like we all gave each other a hard time. Like we all talk shit to each other, but it was never meant with malice or you know what I mean. Like we did stupid shit like catch brake clean. If you don't know, brake clean is like a compound that is meant for cleaning brakes, which is crazy that they call it brake clean, but it's meant for like you can use it. It's a cleaning solvent or whatever, and you can get it in cans, and you know we do stupid shit like catch the cans on fire, watch them like shoot up and like just stupid fucking dumb. You know how there's that Twitter page or whatever that's like hold my beer. It's just those guys. You know what I mean? Hanging out with those guys, and they could fucking make a car run uh like nobody's business, but other than that, like they definitely weren't like the sharpest crayons in the box. You know what I'm saying? And I work there too, so I admit that I also am not the sharpest crayon in the box. So I don't know. I think you could bend a little bit of idiocracy. But I do get what you're saying because they have internet and shit. So who's still running the servers? But then maybe I know some IT people. They're very fucking smart. They're definitely not like the guys that are working turning wrench in shops. You know what I mean? So maybe there is a hole in the store. Damn it, chaotic! Why did you have to ruin it? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You didn't ruin it. I try not to be super like my friend, he's like a movie snob, right? And um he's like hypercritical on things and movies, and for me, I just sit down, I just need some entertainment. Sometimes it's like one line in the whole movie. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, that was a really good fucking line. Like, or the actor did a really good job delivering it, or whatever. Or sometimes it's like just a shot, um, like one particular thing that the director and cinematographer did that I was like, wow, that's really fucking beautiful. I love that shot. The rest of the movie, horrible acting. You know what I mean? The story doesn't even make sense. The part about the time travel, but they didn't have the time machine. Like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? But this one fucking shot, it's brilliant. You know what I'm saying? I was entertained. That's all I need. Do you see what I'm saying? I've I don't I don't think I've ever got I don't think I've ever been in a movie theater and been like, yeah, this is bullshit, and just got up and walked out. I don't think I've ever done that. I've sat through pretty much all the movies that people are like this is a horrible fucking movie. You know what I mean? And I've gotten some form of entertainment. Now, has there been movies that I fucking fell asleep in? Yes. You know what I mean? When my kids were little, we had to go see all the fucking like Despicable Me's and the fucking I don't know. I liked Suicide Squad. I'm not a huge DC fan. Um I know just enough about the characters. My only issue with Suicide Squad was what I vaguely remember. I don't remember what's his name, um, Deadshot or whatever, ever taking his mask off. But then like it's Will Smith, and are you really gonna get Will Smith to be in a mask the whole fucking time? Well, I don't know. They got Tom Hardy to be in a fucking mask the whole time. You know what I mean? Get cultured and shit. Yeah, better watch out for fuck, what was his name? What was his name? The pimp. Fuck. Not Trainwreck. Oh, brain, you have just failed me. If I could kick you out, I would. Not Freight Train. What? I don't fall asleep. It's like Prime Time or Trainwreck or fuck. It's something like that. I don't remember. But she's like, oh yeah, I can't. I do think, like, as far as the superhero movies go, Marvel has pretty much been kicking. Uh, I am interested in Birds of Prey. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a DC fan. I see you brought that up, Jax. I didn't even bring that up. I wasn't gonna say it, but she's right. Other than okay, so this is backstory. When I first met Jax, right? Um, everybody knows. Like I seen her, I fell in love with her instantly. Um, it was not reciprocated. I had to win her over, but that's fine. I mean, with this face, like it's you get it, you understand. Anyway, um, so I see her and we start talking and start dating or whatever. And she's like, "Oh, I like horror movies," and I'm like, "Oh, I love horror movies. Like, I love horror movies. They're like my jam." And um, and this was like when they just rebooted Friday the 13th, and she was like, "Oh, I love Friday the 13th movies." I was like, "Oh my god, me too. We're like spiritual animals meant to be together." And she wasn't convinced of that yet. I don't know if she's still convinced of that yet, but I'm still trying to win her over. But anyway, I'm like, we should go. And uh that's 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 kind of true. Um but never mind. That one's too easy. But anyway, so I'm like, "Oh, we should go see Friday the 13th." And she's like, "Cool," cuz I love that. And I'm like, "Cool." And we go see Friday the 13th, the reboot or whatever on Friday the 13th, which was smart marketing on their part. Now, we can argue about that reboot wasn't that great. I kind of agree, but it's still cool. I like all the Friday the 13th movies for the most part. X, I'm kind of meh on X, but it is what it is. It's okay. It felt like okay. Just side note, it felt like Sci-Fi Network made Jason X. Anyway, back to the original point. We go see Friday the 13th on Friday the 13th, and afterwards, she's like, I'm like, "Oh, wasn't that great?" And she was like, "No, I didn't have a good time. Um, I just didn't like it, and like it made her feel some type of way." And I was like, "Oh," and that sucks. You know what I mean? And we've never seen another horror movie, at least not in theaters. I can't think. Jack's okay, she's in chat. We haven't. We've gone to the movie theater. What was the one? I conned her into going, I think it was Deadpool. I think it was Dead. It was one of those movies that she actually was like, oh, that wasn't bad. Yeah, it gave her anxiety. Cause like there's a difference in watching a horror movie at your house, you know what I mean, than it is at the theater, cause like it's dark in the theater. Like I get it, I understand. You know what I mean? Like it's not an easy but at your house you can have all the lights on, you could be eating hot dogs if you want to. I guess you can eat hot dogs at the movie theater if they serve it, or if you have a purse. Or just put it in your pocket, but then there'd be lint, and that's weird. I I think the word lots might not be well used right there. Like, you probably should have just typed, we've seen movies, just not horror movies. I don't know if lots would describe, I guess more than one would be lots, right? I've missed it too at Wastelander. Nads. Yeah, pocket dogs. Everybody. A couple a year? What year is this? Oh yeah, it's 2019. What movies have we seen together this year? Crickets. 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 Right? Whatever you want to call me, just call me late for dinner. Unless I'm the only one coming over, and then it doesn't matter if I'm late because no one else has ate the food. I don't know. I used to love going to the movies. I don't know if it's because I'm getting like comfortable in my older age and just like, let's just chill at home, or maybe oh, what's for dinner, Adam? Saab was in here earlier and he was talking about he had mac and cheese and bacon and chicken. Everybody loves a good pocket dog. The actual like hot dog in your pocket, and like sexual innuendo for pocket dog. I like spaghetti and meatballs. Are you making bread with it? I'm easily sidetracked. I remember one time, this is a story about my cousin, because I love her, and like I said, like obviously, like when people pass away, uh, like you get like reminiscent about them or whatever, I don't know what the right word. But I remember when I was living with them when I got out of prison, and it was my cousin and her, like, I don't think they were married at the time, but like they were engaged or whatever. And they get in this huge fucking argument because she's making spaghetti and not making bread. And he's basically like, you can't fucking have spaghetti and meatballs and like without the bread. Like, it's just fucking pointless. And obviously, like, it's a stupid ass argument. You know what I mean? I'm like 25 maybe, so she's like 18 or 19, or maybe she's 18, he's like 20. But it's this huge knockdown, drag out. And I don't mean like they got into it. Like, it's just a yelling match between the two of them. And it all started from because she didn't want to make bread for fucking spaghetti and meatballs. I don't know why I find that funny. Now, I found it funny then. I was also kind of shitty. Like, a lot of times they would get in arguments and I would egg it on. Which I know. It was fucking shitty. But it was also very funny at the time. Because they got in arguments over the stupidest shit. Which I think most couples do. But they really got, like, I don't think, like, me and Jaxs have gotten in arguments. I don't think we've ever gotten an argument over bread with spaghetti and dinner. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think. All right, take it easy, Lunar. I love breakfast for dinner, by the way. That's like my favorite. If we're not having pizza, but we're having breakfast for dinner, that's probably my favorite. Will do, sir. We got to get games in at some point. Damn, it's almost 8 o'clock already. Fuck. I love you. I love hanging out with you guys. Time goes, man. If you guys don't mind, could you just come to my work and hang out with me at work? Because then it would make time go really fast. I know you got lives and shit, but you can put that shit on hold, right? It's only 8 hours. Unreal expectations. I'm also quiet when I sleep. Sometimes. Apparently, I snore. I've not seen scientific data that I actually do. I just hear rumors. Speculate. It's more speculation than anything. You know what I mean? But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, it's all good, Lunar. I appreciate you hanging out, dude. Much appreciate. Yeah, it's only 8 hours. Like, what else were you gonna do from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.? You know what I mean? I got a life, motherfucker. That's what I'm doing. Oh, my original thing is I don't go to the movies. Like shit. I don't even. How many times have I been to the movies this year? Jax, if you're in chat, like maybe 4 or 5. Like I know we're gonna. Me and my oldest kid are gonna go see Dark Fate. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. But it's really just for like the major things. I used to go to the movies every fucking week. I would go see something. No. No. I totally disagree with that. That number is incorrect. Unless there's like a decimal point after the 3. But then that would be pi. Or no, pi is 3.14? 3.17? Fuck, I don't know. Obviously, look at me. If we were talking about pie, it would be the kind that I eat, not the math kind. But the whole like going to the movies thing, that's probably like I said, probably because like streaming services, like Netflix and shit, like for one, they make their own movies, so there's like incentivize you to stay home, and the major I want to see Dark Fate. I also want to see that Shia LaBeouf movie. I forget the name of it, but that's really all that I want to see. There's nothing. I think like around Christmas time is the next batch of like really good movies. I could be wrong though. I mean, obviously summertime's when they release all the like really good shit, like the big blockbuster action, like Marvel movies. Oh, Star Wars. Oh my god, how the fuck could I have forgotten? Yeah, Star Wars will be out in December, right? In like a month? Doesn't it come out like the 15th? 17th? Something like that? But other than that, like between now and then, I watched Dark Fate. Um, there's some good movies on Netflix. I watched that okay, Netflix made me think of it. There's this weird show on Netflix called The Kaminsky Method or something like that. And it's about Michael Douglas is an acting coach and he's got a friend, I forget his friend's name. Alan Arkin. Um and they're like best friends, but obviously they're like in their 60s, and it's a weird little show. I really like it. I don't know why. It's just funny. It's made by the same guy who made Big Bang Theory, the Chuck Lorre. Um, I don't know what you mean, Nads. What do you mean? Oh, Ratley. Is that a movie? Because I'm not even, or is that an actor, a director? Uh, I was gonna say like a gaffer. Gaffer. I don't think gaffers can be famous. Oh shit! I haven't read To Kill a Mockingbird since I was like in high school. Oh, so anyway, if you're on Netflix, watch some of that. I think it's like the Kaminsky Method or something like that. It's funny. You can definitely tell it's the um. If you like that, my number one favorite movie of all time is 12 Angry Men. Like, if you like To Kill a Mockingbird, then you should watch 12 Angry Men, and you will love it, and it will be your favorite. And like, you're welcome. It probably won't be your favorite, but you might like it. Um. Oh yeah, movies not. I've seen that. In the tall. I think it's called In the Tall Grass or something like that. It's a Netflix movie. It's actually pretty good. For some of it, I don't quite understand, but it's a Stephen King story that they made into a movie, which is dope. I like Stephen King. He makes weird, crazy, fucked up shit. Um, I still think they've never, of all the Stephen King stuff. I haven't read any of his like more recent stuff, but I've read all the old stuff. I've never, they've never actually like done any of his stuff justice, in my opinion. And they're like, we could get into the whole debate of like, oh, because books are better than movies and shit like that because they get more time to like go more in depth, maybe. But um, everything I've read of his, they've never came close. The Stand, uh, I kind of, if you ever read The Stand, it's like post-apocalyptic, and I think that would make a great like Netflix show or like HBO show or something where they could actually be um like kind of raw and do fucked up shit and say fucked up shit. You know what I mean? I don't think it makes a good TV like ABC show. Because for something like that, like I feel like Walking Dead would be way better if it was made on Netflix or HBO or something like that. I don't know how I got there from not going to the movies, but I remember it was probably like 2 or 3 years ago. My buddy was telling me, "Oh, eventually, like movie theaters will die." And I haven't seen like profit reports or whatever for like big movie chains, but I don't know if you guys. Obviously, you've probably been to the movies recently. The seating is way different now. Like you actually like have to pick your seats. Like, or okay, for us, you have to pick assigned seats, and the seats are the like the big jumbo seats that you can like recline and shit in. Um, but it puts like, I don't know. I want to say like maybe a third less seats, or no, there's a third of the seats in the theater that there used to be like when I was younger. Because like you were pretty much packed in there like fucking, or I was because I'm a big guy, but I just felt, and now the seats are like big, and you know, if somebody is sitting next to you, it's not like you ever do that fucking fight over the fucking shared armrest. I remember that as a kid in a packed theater. Like you put your arm, and then he'd put, or she'd put her arm, and then you're kind of like they're fucking nudging you off of it, and you're like fuck that, and it's not like that anymore. So, and maybe that's why like when you go there and you order nachos and it's like $18 for fucking like nachos. Maybe that's how they're making their money. Uh, don't tell nobody, but I never buy that shit. I just bring in my own shit. And I know what you're gonna say. You're like you're robbing them. Um, that's why you sit in people's laps. That's funny. I would love to go into a theater and just see like people sitting on other people's laps. Like that would be amazing. I would laugh so fucking hard and probably go sit on somebody's lap. No, I wouldn't do that. That would I might kill somebody. Anyway, I do like the seats. I have this weird thing. They call it like what's it called? Institutionalized. And you would think I wouldn't have any institutionalization after 20 something years. I have this weird thing about being out in public that I need to know my surroundings, right? And I need to be like ready if some shit happens. So when I go to the movies, I don't put my recliner all the way back. Um, it's not awkward. It's meant with love. Um, but I don't recline my seat all the way back. I don't like that because if something happened and I couldn't just jump right up, which I get it. Like I'm 45, I'm not 25 anymore, but I just don't like that. It's why I don't wear sandals. I don't wear sandals ever. I will be the motherfucker that wears tennis shoes to the beach because I don't wear I don't. Um, my brain just is like, no, you can't do that. And if you wear sandals, I'm actually kind of jealous. Like I wish that I could do that, but I can't. My brain's just like, and Jax is like, I think she is like part of like the pro sandals community because she's like, it's summertime, you should just wear sandals. And I'm like, I don't. What if something happens? And she's like, what are you expecting to happen? And I'm like, I don't know, but maybe I need my shoes on because in prison, like when obviously you get in fights and shit, like believe it or not, it's a weird thing to fight barefooted. Or at least it is to me because I feel like I have no traction. You know, like not that shoes are like like they're not fucking they're not fucking tires, but they do give you some track and like they protect your feet. I get my feet stomped on a lot. Maybe because I'm big. I don't know. Maybe people just stomp on my feet on not meaning to, especially in basketball. Like that's why my one toe is like all fucked up and gnarly because it's been smashed so many fucking times. Like, you know, a 250-pound dude jumps up in the air, you know what I mean? And he fucking lands on my feet. Obviously, he's gonna fucking smash my shit. But I always, like, Jax makes fun of me. Like, when we go to, like, restaurants and shit, like, I always want to see the door. Is somebody gonna come in and do heinous shit? Probably not. But I always like being able to see the door. And then sometimes she, like, goes and, like, sits at the table and then's like, I'll watch the door for you. You know what I mean? I know everybody has like weird like little what are those called? Idiosyncrasies. That's like some of mine. Like when I go and get a drink, I have to pour some of it out. Not even like, oh, this is for the homies. It's just a thing I do. I don't know why. There's no real reason to it. I just do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of those people, like, I'm not at the light switch 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, we can leave now. Which, if you are one of those people, no disrespect. But I just have certain things that, for me, it just makes sense. And I don't know how it doesn't make sense to you, too. You know what I mean? Like, but I guess the guy that's like 17, 18, 19, 20, that shit makes sense. I don't know. It's just the shit that makes me me, I guess. And for whatever reason, Jax keeps me around. But she has like weird or what I think is weird idiosyncrasies too. You know what I mean? And that's probably like, have you ever seen that part in Goodwill Hunting? Robin Williams, Matt Damon, who's that other fucking guy? Ben Affleck. Uh, he's like he's the wicked smart kid. And Robin Williams is talking about his dead wife and shit. And he's talking about something like when they're gone or when you love somebody, it's all the little idiosyncrasies that they have and shit. I don't know. If you never seen that movie, it's actually really good. It's before like Ben Affleck was Daredevil and Like they actually wrote that movie together or whatever, allegedly. I don't know if they did or not. I wasn't there. Um, but yeah, it's the little shit that people do. Obviously, sometimes that shit will infuriate you, but sometimes it's the shit that like in the movie, he's talking about how his like wife farts in her sleep or some shit like that, and how he loved that about her. And I'm sure the shit I do, maybe she doesn't love, but there is some things that even though I don't understand it or like, I don't know, it's just the I don't know. It makes me feel some type of way, like a good thing, not a bad thing. But if you're with somebody long enough, I see we've been together 11 years, so every once in a while, like she thinks she knows what I'm gonna do or what I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, okay, so this would be the example. Like you go to the same restaurant once a week, every week for 12 years, right? And you sit down and you go, I'm going to have the Caesar salad and she's going to have the chicken tenders and french fries because that's what you do every time. I like I like to go in and be like, "Nope, I'm having the prime rib today." You know what I mean? Because she's like, "What the fuck?" You always get smothered burritos. Actually, this Mexican restaurant we go to, we pretty much do eat the same thing. Every once in a while, though, I like to fucking change it up and throw her off. You know what I mean? But they have this uh, it's a like a fajita like salad. So like they do the bowl where they take the tortilla and like, but it's not actually a bowl. It's more like an envelope. I don't like it's like just like this. You know what I mean? And then they fill it with all types of shit. And she's like, ugh, all that shit's nasty. But it's actually really good. And you can get it with chicken or beef, which I usually sometimes I just change that is enough. You know what I mean? Because I used to do beef all the time and then I started doing chicken, but then like I just change it up. And sometimes I just do that shit just to like kind of fuck with her. But not like in a bad way, just change it up just enough. Just so in 20 more years she'll I can hit her with, "Oh yeah, well I'm getting burritos this time." I think everybody has um like their places that they go to and they're like standard uh uh like meal. Like, oh, when I go to we don't have In and Out here, but like I'm sure if you go to In and Out, like you have your standard thing. Um I'll be honest, she's pretty fucking reliable in her ordering. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, though, she says stuff that I don't like. She'll eat tomatoes at one place, but not eat tomatoes at another. Like, she can eat tomatoes on tacos, but not eat tomatoes on sandwiches. Okay, okay, okay. You know what I mean? Like, but once you know that, like, once you know, shit about your loved one or whatever, you know what I mean? It it okay, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. She understands it. I don't. You know what I mean? But once you've been together long enough, like I know when we go somewhere, and if I remember my glasses, because sometimes I can't fucking read the menu. Um, but I'm looking at the menu. I kind of already know like what she's probably gonna get. You know what I mean? Like because she's more like consistent in her um like food choices and just choices in general. As some, you know, sometimes I don't know if you can do this or not, but sometimes I would love to just sit down and tell the waiter or waitress, fucking just surprise me. keep it under like $10 or $15. I mean, obviously, if you're like at a super fancy place, they'd probably kick you out. But like just your normal like diner or like food, like just fucking. I would like that. I would like a just surprise me option. You know what I mean? Like just sit down and be like, so what do you want tonight? I'll be like, just give me the just surprise me. And they're like, all right. And it could be you could be having breakfast, ribs. You could get a garden salad. They might show up with a glass of water, which I probably wouldn't like that. But it is just surprised me. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't tip well if that. For one, I don't think they charge you for water. Maybe they would because they would give you like a dinner water. I don't even know if that's a thing. But if there was a just surprise me on the menu, I would make a dinner water a thing. I've never. I don't. I don't. I don't know if she's still in chat. Have we been somewhere where they gave us food? I know I've been given the wrong food and just ate it. But that hasn't happened in a while. I know once that happened and they gave me something better. I ordered something and they gave me something. I was like, oh, hey, this is actually better than what I was going to order. This is great. I don't know how they. I can't remember if they charged me for that meal or if they charged me for what I ordered. I guess it doesn't matter. I don't even know how I got on the topic of. It's good. It's good. When. I guess it's familiarity. When you've been with somebody long enough, you kind of know what they're gonna. But that's not necessarily true either, because sometimes I'm like, I know exactly what she's gonna say when I tell her this, and she never. I'm like, wow, I was not expecting that, which is good. I think that's good. It keeps for me, it keeps it kind of not fresh. I don't know what the word is. It keeps it from not being stale, I guess. Because I guess if you knew the answer to everything that the other person was going to say, that for me, that would get boring. Yeah, it does keep the flame alive. Oh, that reminds me. So I just kind of in the last like few months got hit to TikTok. And I was like, what is this? It looks like Instagram, but not Instagram. Like, the shit's way funnier. Like, people are making some fucking hysterical shit. You know what I mean? So I fucking downloaded the app. I haven't made any videos yet, but I have ideas for videos. But I came home today and I was like, I have an idea for a TikTok video. And she was like, okay. And I said, I would like you to be in it. And she's like, okay. And I said, this is my idea for the video. And I figured she was going to be like, no fucking way I'm doing that. She just looked at me. She shook her head. She said, okay. And then she was like, they shouldn't let you be on TikTok. And I was like, why? And she was like, Lord help all of us. I was like, but that's just one idea. And she goes, yeah, but that's the point. Like, if you just downloaded TikTok and that's the first video, it's not the first. I actually have a different video I want to do. But that'll be more like yeah, go away baiting. Actually, that would be cool to figure out how to make something based off of Idiocracy. Dude, the first like 5 minutes of Idiocracy you definitely could use in like a TikTok video, because it's only what, like 15 seconds to a minute or something like that. I haven't fully got into like what you can do. I know most people make funny videos, but some people make like inspirational TikToks or like educational shit. Or I don't worry, there will never not be anything educational or Maybe they'll be inspirational. I don't know. I just want to make funny weird shit. I want my even in like this shit, like it sounds selfish because it is selfish, and I know it, or at least it sounds selfish in my head. I just make shit to make myself laugh, and then if it makes other people laugh, then dope. You know what I mean? Like that's great. But initially, when I thought of this TikTok video idea, I was like, "Oh, that's funny." If somebody made that, I would probably laugh hysterically. You know what I mean? Like, uh, one of these times, I just learned when you stream on YouTube, you can do a thing where you can like pull people up from like the live. I don't fully understand it yet. Obviously, I'm not tech savvy, but I'm gonna do more research and kind of figure it out. So like people can, it's kind of like a Discord chat, um, but it's different because like you can pull people from chat up and they can talk and like you just see their profile picture or they can do their camera or they can do their screen like if they're on a computer or I guess they could do it if they're on their phone, you know what I mean. um but I might see if she ever would want to just like come on and talk. um just I'm sure the shit and amount of shit she would talk would probably be fucking hysterically funny. What, behind me? That that's probably against like YouTube terms of service or whatever. So I probably couldn't do that. But that's not a bad idea. I'm gonna write that down. Like a chalkboard background that I could write on. Oh, that's a or what's that shit called? Dry erase board? I'm writing it down. I'm also horrible memory. If I don't write shit down, I forget. Chalkboard background. Sorry. No penis. I'll remember what that means. Okay. This is a penis. That would be funny. Look here. This is a penis. And then like have a 10-minute video that's like all the slang words for like dick. You know what I mean? Pole, shaft, rod. You know what I mean? that would be funny. That video probably could not be monetized. Like 100%. Oh, so the thing that I was talking about, because like moving forward, as I like figure more shit out and get better at this, um, I want to be able to like, if people want to like come up and talk and, um, you know what I mean? Like there's a way to do that, like just straight off of the chat. You see what I'm saying? So, which I think will make for like good conversations. Because like people could come on and be like, "Oh, this is why you're wrong, Biggie," or maybe they agree with me. Probably not, but it's possible. Do you see what I'm saying? Shit, what time is it? Oh, we still got a little time. I noticed the other thing too that I kind of wanted to talk about. Um, like I don't know the organization, but I seen it on Twitter that somebody was like, I don't know how it works technically, but they were like advertising that they can like boost your numbers on like whatever social, like I seen it was for like Twitter, Instagram, for Twitch. I don't know if they had it for YouTube. But they were basically like just flat out saying like you give us like I think it was like $30, $50 and $100, and they would give you X amount of like followers or subs or whatever. And I don't know every terms of service on every platform, but I would think, well, maybe like Twitter Maybe Twitter doesn't give a shit. Because if you had like, if your Twitter count was 1 million, no one, how did, oh, I no, because you would be able to advertise yourself as like an influencer and then charge companies. But I see, this is where I'm not tech savvy and I don't understand. Even if you had 1 million, let's say you bought 1 million followers on, I think it would be very expensive, but let's say you have the money and you do it. Like, you buy 1 million followers on Twitter, like, aren't companies smart enough to like look at your shit and like look at your engagement and be like, yeah, you have 1 million followers, but you only engage with like 100 people. So I would think that, like, if I ran a company, I would look at like engagement and shit like that versus, you know what I mean? Because I bet you there are people that have 1 million followers on, let's just keep using Twitter, but their engagement isn't great. But then somebody else that has like 10,000 followers, you know what I mean? That just built the shit like from the ground up or whatever. And, but their engagement is like way better. I would rather advertise with the person. Does that make sense? Like, I guess, like, what I don't understand is, what does that benefit? Okay, so um like, we could use Twitch as an example. Okay, so you buy 5,000 followers on Twitch. That doesn't benefit you at all. Like, yeah, okay, so when somebody looks at your stats, it says you have 5,000 followers, but when they come to your stream, there's 4 people. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that, I I don't know. I just don't get that. Maybe it's a psychological thing. Like, it helps you think that you have 5,000, but you're the one that bought them. Or maybe you convince yourself. I don't know. I don't understand. Like, and if there's like a financial think big. What do you mean? Like, bigger than Twitch? Or, because, like, I get it on YouTube. I kind of understand, because you have to have so many subs to be able to get monetized. So I have no idea what you're. I have no idea what that means. Like, I never bought anything. Is that what you mean? Like, if you look at all my shit, like, my numbers are really kind of low. Obviously, I just started on YouTube, so. Oh, okay. Subs on YouTube. Like, you need so many. I think it's 1,000. It might be 5,000, but I think it's 1,000. You need 1,000 subs to be monetized in like so many hours, like 10,000 hours or 5,000 hours or something like that. So, like, I get it. So you buy the 1,000 that you need, but you still need the time watched. So, and then even if you do get the time watched, if nobody's watching the videos and stuff, like, the monetization isn't gonna benefit you. And I just did see something like, who was it? Instagram paid out over $1 billion in what they call like fake engagement or something like that. So maybe on Instagram it pays to like boost your numbers like that, to have like uh fake follow, or I guess it's not fake, but shit, that's a hustle all in itself that I didn't even know until this year was a thing, that like people will like build up like, let's just say Instagram. So they build up a fucking Instagram following. Take it easy, man. Go away, baiting. See, that's an Idiocracy reference. Thanks for coming by and hanging out. Very much appreciate. Have a great rest of your night. Um. Oh, but then so people would build up these huge accounts on Instagram or whatever, and then they would sell basically like sell shout outs to like other Instagram people. And then but I think they build up the original Instagram account would be like organically like built up. You know what I mean? I don't know. They didn't give a reference on how big the Instagram accounts were, but it was like um I would imagine you'd have to have like probably like 50,000, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000, something like that. Like not like 300. You know what I mean? Like you obviously got to have a pretty uh but then people would just sell like shout outs and shit for like $20. Anywhere from what I read was anywhere from like 20 to $100. That if the original account was grown organically and then they're shouting out people for 20 $100, that I kind of would understand, because then maybe potentially like if you have decent shit on Instagram that people want to look at, those 30,000 or 50,000, I mean, even if you only, so if it's, let's just do like basic math, 50,000, somebody shouts you out and you can get 10% of those people to come over and follow you. I mean, that's 5,000 people. That's a shit ton of people. You know what I mean? Like that maybe it would have taken you like a really long time. I don't know. I still think it's, and maybe this is super naive. I feel like everybody is like one clip away. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I always forget to do that. Thanks, Jax. Because YouTube is its own thing. Like, yeah, please like, share, subscribe. Thanks, Boo. I need to do better at that. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs down. Hit a thumb. It doesn't even have to. Yeah, I like saying it like that. Hit a thumb. It doesn't matter. Hit the one up, the one down. I kind of wish there was a middle finger option. Like that would be fine too. Or you could just do middle finger emoji in the comments. Oh, that's actually a good idea too. I like that. I might steal that from myself because I'm the one that said it. Yeah, pretend it's a middle finger. There you go. Yeah, great. Like my dad always said, great minds. Cause I always used to say, "Oh, great minds think alike," and he'd say, "Yeah, and so do morons." Because he was really good at building up my self-esteem. Um. Anyway, I don't know. On the whole, like buying followers and stuff, I don't get it myself. I'm sure there's a reason. I just don't see it, and I think if you're really gonna build a thing, like you just gotta fucking do it. You know what I mean? And I don't I don't I don't necessarily think there's a shortcut. Oh, naive. I may be super naive in thinking that you're like one clip away. You know what I mean? Like one thing away. And obviously like you might have to make 10,000 fucking clips or do 10,000 things. You know what I mean? What's that Malcolm what was his name? Malcolm Gladwell? It was Malcolm something, not Malcolm in the Middle. But that was like, to be great at a thing, you got to put like 10,000 hours in. I don't, which is true. Like obviously it's why I'm not really great at streaming, because I haven't done it for 10,000 hours yet. Anyway, I think you're like one thing away. Uh, at least that's kind of what I hope for myself, from doing one stupid thing or saying one stupid thing, or um, just doing something, and that gets you some kind of recognition or gets you noticed by somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's a lot of life in general. Like acting is like you do one thing. You know what I mean? Like, think about how many people just in the acting world, or I mean directing. I guess filmmaking in general. Like, one person does one fucking thing, and their whole fucking career is made. Like, you can use like Billy Bob Thornton. You know what I mean? He was like a B actor. You know what I mean? He went off and wrote Sling Blade and made Sling Blade, and like he's acted ever since. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everybody, if you're trying to do I hate the word content creator. If you're trying to do that type of shit, you're like one thing away. But that might just be naivete. I'm trying to think of the right word. Shit, it's almost 8:30 for me. Damn, we've been 2.5 hours. I super appreciate everybody hanging out. So I know I said we're gonna do streams on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. This Friday, it's apparently 5:19. Well, here it's 8:22 because I'm in the future, Lunar. I'm in the future. I know we said, or I know I said Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. This Friday, I'm going down. Me and my oldest kid are going down to my parents. No, I disagree with that, Lunar. So there'll be no stream this Friday, but before you get upset, and maybe you're just like, oh, that's fine, but maybe you were gonna get upset, but you shouldn't. Saturday, there will be a stream. I don't know what time. I don't. But I'm working on something with somebody else. As soon as I get, no, not that type of butt, just one T. And once I get that time, like, nailed down or whatever, I will post on my Twitter. No. As far as I know, I don't know if that'll ever be a thing again. I don't know. But maybe something, not that, but maybe something similar. Oh, as far as times on Saturday, like I said, I don't know. Once I get it nailed down, I'll post it on Twitter. I'll put it in our Discord. Oh, I need to remember too, when this is over, in the description, I'll put our Discord link. I will put our my Twitter link. And obviously, like, if you like, share, and subscribe, or, well, if you subscribe or whatever and you turn the bell on, then you'll know when the stream goes live. Yeah, like, share, like, comment, share, subscribe. But if you don't do those things, and like, our Discord is just really just us talking about our lives, and we do talk about video games quite a bit because we're pretty much all gamers. But we do talk about, we do not talk about butts. I mean, there's butt memes, but I guess we do talk about butt. If you post a meme, I guess that is talking about it. Oh yeah, always pizza and memes and gifs or gifs. No, gifs. And you can't change my mind. I say GIF, and I don't care if you have Neil deGrasse Tyson reach out to me and tell me it's GIF. I still will pronounce it GIF, and that's just how it will be. But no stream on Friday, but there will be one on Saturday. I will work on the whole, like, the technical side of being able to, like, have people pop up from chat, and maybe nobody wants to do that. Maybe some people will. I don't know. Maybe as the channel grows, I don't know. I'm also gonna work over the weekend on trying to get it set up to where it won't always be green screen. Because even like on like my side, obviously on your side it gets kind of stale, you know what I mean, or whatever. But like on my side, it gets I get stale of just doing green screen stuff. So it'll be interesting, I hope, for to not do it. But who knows? It could be horrible. It could be a train wreck. I'm involved. It's always a possible. Like I tell Jaxs all the time, if I'm involved, it could be a disaster. It's just how it, like, you just roll a dice when I'm involved. Sorry. Yeah, dumpster garbage fire. Exactly. That's pretty much my middle name, which is weird when I have to fill out my full name. Okay, so no stream Saturday, or no stream Friday, but there will be a stream Saturday. And I mean, going down to my parents on Fridays isn't like an every Friday thing. So there will be streams on Friday. It's just every once a month, every couple weeks. I need to go down there and kind of check on them and make sure my kid spends time with his grandparents and that I spend time with them. And then moving forward, as far as like video game streams go, they're going to be very sporadic. I'm not going to make a schedule for those. Like, they're just going to pop up. You know what I mean? And I know, because I'm the one that says, oh, you got to be consistent with shit. I'm going to be consistent with this. The video game streams will be consistent. You know what I mean? Maybe sometimes there'll be 2 in a week, and then there might be a week that we don't do any. Yeah, possibly Tuesday nights. It's possible. I'm talking to people about video games on Tuesday. Like I said, where I fucked up when I was on one of the many ways that I fucked up on Twitch was committing to a very intense isn't the, because it's not intense, but I committed to, that's the only word I can think of. I committed to an intense schedule for my life to stream, and I shouldn't have done that. So this time I'm going to make the stream more reasonable. And let's be honest, like, now that we're doing this type of stream, you probably don't want to see this shit every fucking day. You know what I mean? I'm with me all the time. So, like, I'm stuck. You know what I mean? You don't want to be stuck. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, so no stream Friday, stream Saturday. Video games will be very hit or miss. I will start making TikTok videos. Probably, well, the first one, I already have all the footage. I just need to make it. The second one, I need to, like, shoot. And then after that, I'll just make weird, random, funny shit. Oh, well played, Jaxs. Well played. Ha 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 ha. Very funny. Look at you with your mute button. You say that, but you would miss if some horrible accident happened and I no longer could talk. I would be just signing away. Like, I don't know. Well, but if I lost the ability to talk, she would just turn her back to me. Then she wouldn't have to see me signing. I see what you did there, Jaxs. Well played. Yeah, sometimes. I'm probably going to get myself in trouble. Obviously, she's been here the whole time, But that's probably because somebody else that she really, really likes isn't streaming right now. I was I was like, because when I started the stream, I went down there and she was watching somebody else's stream, and I was like, hey, do you think you could at least open a tab for me? Please? Like, you don't have to watch if you don't want to. Oh, shit. That's why I love her. Like, she's... she's like, don't get me wrong, she's not perfect, but she's perfect for me. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I'm perfect for her, but I don't care. I'm kidding. Actually, yeah, no, I'm kidding. Anyway, sorry, I'm kind of rambling here at the end. I just want to make sure everybody knows. And if for some reason you're watching this video for the whole fucking time, or maybe you skip to the end, well, I don't. There's actually maybe some truth to that. Anyway, no, not with money anyway. Oh, make sure you like. What is it? Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, or whatever. I know as time goes, I'll get better at that. It's just weird. It feels like a weird thing to say. You know what I mean? I'll get used to it. I'll get better at it. Yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe. I need a little, like, pop-up thing. Obviously, the mods do it now, but I need a little pop-up thing that's, like, makes life easier. I super appreciate everybody hanging out. I hope you have a dope-ass rest of your night, or if you're watching this later, I hope you're having a dope-ass fucking day. My name's MrBigEsworth, or Biggie. I will drop Twitter and shit and Discord links in the description. If you want to join those, it would be dope to have you. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. You gotta live your life. Be happy. Yeah, just be happy. I feel like that's where the stream should end. Just be happy.